I have 19 books on my Amazon wish list. Girl, when am I gonna have the time to read any of these books? Hey guys, welcome back. That was weird. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Maggie Rose. Yes, I have a cold. I don't know how this is gonna sound today. So this is just gonna be a short video of me showing you all the books that are on my Amazon wish list. And if nothing else, this should be a video just to prove to my husband that I'm actually not buying every single book that I want to get, even though that's what it seems like sometimes. I did buy a lot of books this year because I just got back into reading, hence my new merch shirt. I have the link down below for you guys, but I really like it. Let's just go ahead and start with my Amazon wish list. I have my coffee that I heated up, I think 5 times today, maybe 6, 5, 6, something. Okay, so I'm gonna start with the most recently added to my list. Let me count how many I have on here. I have 19 books on my Amazon wish list. Girl, when am I gonna have the time to read any of these books? Does reading more often help you read faster? Does anybody know? If you do, let me know in the comments. There's ants on my wall and I am very distracted and disgusted, and our ant traps do not seem to be working, and it's frustrating. First one on my Amazon wish list is called Choosing Gratitude, Your Journey to Joy by Nancy Lee DeMoss. So this is one of her older books, and normally I tend to go towards the newer books that were more recently released, but at the same time, this looks like a really fantastic book for the place that I'm at in my life right now. Choosing Gratitude, Your Journey to Joy. I mean, that's pretty much what I've been wanting my channel to come across, is like finding the joy through the hardships of this life. So I really do want to grab this book. So the next one's also from Nancy DeMoss Wagamuth, and this one is a devotional, which I don't normally like devotionals, you guys know that, but I trust Nancy DeMoss Wagamuth to not pick and choose scripture to prove a point. This looked so interesting to me. It's called The Power of Words, a 4-week devotional study, and I would love to do a video for you guys on pretty much like this, the power of words. But I think I really want to read this book first because I think it'll give me some extra insight into that. So that is definitely a book that I will be purchasing this year. And I will link all of these books for you guys below if you want to get them as well. But the next one is also by Nancy DeMoss Wagamuth. It's the last one by her, I promise. But this one is Adorned, Living Out the Beauty of the Gospel Together. I've heard so many good things about this from so many different podcasts. I just know that that one's going to be a great book. So a lot of these books that are on my Amazon wish list are because I've heard them recommended to me through podcasts and other people that I trust on a biblical and theological level. So I know that these books are going to be good because of the recommendations I've received about them. So that brings me to the next book that I've heard great things about, and it's called Stop Calling Me Beautiful by Felicia Masonheimer. Finding soul deep strength in a skin deep world. So that one sounds really good to me. It almost sounds similar to Allie Beth's book, You're Not Enough and That's Okay, in a way, and I wonder if it's similar or not, but if it is, I know that I'll love it because I loved Allie Beth's book. And also, I just really like how the cover looks on that. I think it's really cute. The next 2 books are books about homeschooling because Hunter and I have made the decision on a year-by-year basis to try to homeschool the kids. The first one is called Teaching from Rest, A Homeschooler's Guide to Unshakable Peace by Sarah Mackenzie. So that one I was recommended to by a podcaster that I listened to, Jamie Balmain. She is a homeschool mom of 6 and she loves to read. Honestly, this woman reads like 3 books a week. No joke. She's crazy. She's crazy. But she recommended that book to anybody who is trying to learn how to homeschool. And then the next one was recommended to me through Amazon from that book, but it had good reviews, and it's called Homeschool Bravely, How to Squash Doubt, Trust God, and Teach Your Children by Jamie Erickson. That one sounds good. I've heard the name Jamie Erickson before, so I think this is a trustworthy book. Moving on to the next one, this one's called Comparison Girl, Lessons from Jesus on Me-Free Living in a Measure Up World by Shannon Popkin. That one looks really good. I've heard great things about that one. Another one is called Eve in Exile, The Restoration of Femininity by Rebecca Merkel. And this one is about feminism throughout history and how the feminism of today is completely different. It just seems very interesting to me because I don't agree with modern day feminists, but I don't know enough about historical femininity. So this one seems like a book that I would really get something out of. So I definitely want to get that one eventually. actually. The next one is a parenting book, and it's called Say Goodbye to Survival Mode: 9 Simple Strategies to Stress Less, Sleep More, and Restore Your Passion for Life. And that one's by Crystal Payne. It just speaks for itself. It sounds like a really good, helpful parenting book. So the next 3 that are on my Amazon wish list are from Trisha Goyer. It's the Big Sky novel series. It's actually a fiction series. Besides Still Waters, the second one is Along Wooded Paths, and the third one is Beyond Hope's Valley. She was actually on one of Jamie Balmain's podcasts, and I really liked how she spoke and what she was talking about. So I definitely want to look into her fiction books as well as her nonfiction book that I want to get, which is also on my wish list, which is called Walk It Out: The Radical Result of Living God's Word One Step at a Time. And that's not even the one that she was talking about on the podcast. The one that I'm really excited about to read from her is called Calming Angry Kids: Help and Hope for Parents in the Whirlwind. I want to deal with the anger in my home, and I want to get it out and deal with it in a biblical way. And I think her talk on Jamie Balmain's podcast about this, if I find the episode, I'll link it below. But it was a great episode about anger in the home. The podcast was great. I know this book is going to be great too. And the next book that I have on here is called A Practical Guide to Culture: Helping the Next Generation Navigate Today's World. I think I heard this on an Allie Beth Stuckey podcast, but it looks good. So I knew that at the time I listened to the podcast and it made me want to buy the book, so I added it onto my list. So I know that I do want to read it. I just can't remember exactly why. The next one I have on here, I've heard about this book and I've heard of this man for a very long time, Nabil Qureshi, and this was his story. His book is called Seeking Allah, Finding Jesus: A Devout Muslim Encounters Christianity. I love the passion that he had for his Christianity, and I definitely want to read his book whenever I get the chance to. I know that there's a couple other books that are a little bit higher on my list, but this is definitely a book that I want in my collection, along with the next one. I definitely want to read both of these, but I definitely want them in my collection. So the next one is A Case for Christ, and this one's by Lee Strobel, a journalist's personal investigation of evidence for Jesus. I've heard it recommended so many different times. It has to be one of the very, very top Christian books out there. And then there's only one more on my Amazon wish list, and this one is called Fighting for Life: Becoming a Force for Change in a Wounded World by Lila Rose. Oh, this book didn't even come out yet. So I'm pretty sure that this book is about being pro-life in a world that's very not pro-life. I'm not 100% on that, but I'm pretty sure that's what the book is about, and I'm excited for that one. It doesn't come out until May, but still, that's another book that I want to read. I'm excited about all those books that I want to read, and the books that I already bought that I still have yet to read. This is my number one that I'm going to read this summer with a couple of girlfriends. It's called Mama Bear Apologetics: Empowering Your Kids to Challenge Cultural Lies. This is just a really great resource for moms because your kids are going to ask you first about theology, about your Christian faith, about all of those things. So this book prepares you for those situations and helps you know what to say so that you help strengthen your children's faith. Some other books that I recently bought that I want to read this year as well. I know that I'm not going to read all these books this year, but I want to try. This one is called Tactics: A Game Plan for Discussing Your Christian Convictions by Gregory Grau. But this guy was on an Elisa Childers podcast, and I really loved that episode. I know it's going to be a great book. It's like how to talk to people about your faith who don't believe the same things as you. This one, I've heard that this one was good by a couple of different people, but it was also recommended, I think, both by Elisa Childers and Allie Beth Stuckey. This one is Live Not by Lies by Rod Dreher. But this one just seems like a really good book to me to kind of just re-ground myself in the faith in a culture where everything is just going crazy. So I was going to get into the books that I've already read this year and if I like them or not, but I'm just going to do that at a different time. But I do want to recommend you guys one book before I go, and it's this one, and it's a children's book, but it's ABC Life in the Womb. And I got this from Amazon, and I'll leave the link below. And they say that 40% of the proceeds of this book go towards pro-life organizations, and this book is the bomb. Like, Aria is obsessed. She's like, can we read the baby book? Can we read the baby book? It's all about life in the womb and a baby growing inside of a mommy's belly. It talks about the development of a baby. It also talks about the importance of a mother-father relationship in a family. It talks about the baby having nerve endings at 10 weeks. So it's a very good book just when it comes to like the science of how a baby is born, but it's also is a great resource for you to show your family how a baby being born is something that's a miracle and that is a godsend and that is important and something that we should not just throw away in a culture when everyone seems to be okay with that. I love the last page. It's so pretty, but the last page just gets me because it says, "Behold, children are a heritage from the Lord, the fruit of the womb a reward." Psalm 127:3. I'll leave that one in the description box for you. And again, 40% of the proceeds of that go towards pro-life organizations. So that's a fantastic book to end this video with. Thank you guys for listening. Let me know if you want to get any of these books that are on my list. Do you guys have book wish lists? I feel like I would have never until this year. So if you don't have a book wish list, what's another wish list that you have on Amazon? Let me know in the comments below. And again, my merch line is linked below for you if you want to pick up any of my stuff, but I appreciate you guys for just watching the videos and being here with me. So thank you guys. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe if you like this content and you want to see more of it. I will see you guys next time. I'm going to go drink some tea or some water or something because that was rough. All right, I will catch you in the next one. Keep smiling, keep finding the joy. Thanks, guys. Bye. Well, no, Have a good one. Thanks, guys. Bye. Wait, what do I say?